deficiency of leadership. What is your response to those comments from Senator Manchin? And is your point by the president's unwillingness to negotiate becomes unsustainable?
Nice.
So as you know, we have a strong and productive relationship with Senator Manchin. He's someone that the president has been able to pass some historic pieces of legislation because of the help of Senator Manchin. So again, they have a strong relationship. The president's message is pretty simple and has been. It has been very simple this past several weeks, several months.
Okay.
The way to have a real negotiation on the budget is for House Republicans to take threats of default when it comes to the economy and what it could potentially do to the economy off the table. We've been very clear about that. He's put forward his budget. The president has said, here's my budget. He was very clear. He showed his values. His budget is going to decrease the deficit by an additional $3 billion over the next 10 years. It's going to make sure that we invest in Americans, that we lower cost. So the president has said, here's what I'm going to do. And not only that, make sure that the super wealthy are paying their share.
I'm going to throw up now.
And so the president and Senator Manchin agreed we must avoid default. And just as President Reagan said, and just as President Trump said, that when they were in office, we have to avoid default. That means House Republicans need to get to work and stop the delay and put a bill on the floor that's going to avoid default.
At today's Major Economies Forum, the United Nations Secretary General was very critical of countries, including the United States, of expanding fossil fuel production. What is your response to that criticism, and what's his message played for the president and other participants today at the forum?
Not a joke.
So look, we've been very clear. This is the fourth time that we've held this forum. We believe that is important for that we need, in order to deal with this issue, we need global collaboration and global action. And that's what you saw this president do, and make sure that we bring the world together to deal with an incredibly important issue like climate. And so the president's going to continue to do that. He's going to continue to have these conversations. I'm not going to speak directly to every country and their statement and their comments, as the Admiral was being asked about China specifically. But we believe these have been really important forums. Again, this is the fourth one since the president has taken office, and we'll continue to have them.
The last question is, an IRS special agent wants whistleblower protection. Talk about an investigation of Hunter Biden's taxes. What is the White House's message to employees who wonder if there should be political considerations when things affect the president's family?
You sure about that?
So look, I want to be very clear here. As you know, the president respects the rule of law.
Lord have mercy.
And the independence of the Department of Justice. He believes that's what they should be. In this administration, we believe that it should be independent. So I'm not going to go beyond that. The Department of Justice will certainly deal with this issue. Again, he believes in the rule of law. He believes in the independence of the Justice Department.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Karine. I know you just to follow up on that, I know you won't comment on the investigation, but is the president confident that his attorney general has upheld all the ethical obligations here when it comes to this investigation?
It's an odd thing to say.
Again, the president has always been clear during the campaign, during his presidency, that the Department of Justice should have independence. They should not be politicized, and they should be able to do their job independently, essentially. And so I'll leave it to them. I'll leave it to the Department of Justice to make their decision to move forward with this particular case. We're just not going to comment from here. I know actually my colleagues from the White House counsel's office actually put out a statement on this and addressed this more specifically. But again, I would refer to the Department of Justice on anything else.
On the debt limit, what will it take for the president to sit down and have a face-to-face conversation with House Speaker McCarthy at this point to try to hash out some of this?
So look, I've been very clear when it comes to the debt ceiling. Sorry, there's something flying around. That should be done without conditions. That should be done just like Speaker McCarthy himself and other Republicans, when they got together with Democrats the 3 times in the last administration. They should deal with this. This is their constitutional duty to make that happen. As it relates to the budget, we saw what Speaker McCarthy and MAGA wing of the Republican Party put forth, which was, we believe, is cruel. We believe, which will be really harm American families who are struggling every day to make ends meet. That's what what they put forward, their plan, their blueprint. That's what it tells us. If you look at the 22% cuts in veteran services, if you look at how they want to cut Meals on Wheels, they want to cut law enforcement funding, that's what it shows. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to look at the impacts of the plan, the blueprint that they put forth, and we appreciate that the Speaker put that together. And look, the President has been very clear. Show me your budget and I'll show you what you value. We have seen what the Republicans in Congress, in the House specifically, along with the Speaker McCarthy, value. And this is what they put forward yesterday, something that we believe will harm American families.
Can I ask a follow-up there? When the president announced his budget, he said, quote, "I'm ready to meet with the speaker anytime tomorrow if he has his budget." He has now put forward a proposal, so will there be a...
Well, I just said we're going to look at the impact of the plan that they put forward. We're going to take a look at it. I've said that already. Right now, what we see with the 22% spending cuts that they put forward, it's going to hurt education, it's going to hurt veterans medical care, Meals on Wheels, food safety. So that's what we're seeing right now. But we're going to take a closer look. We're going to analyze that. We appreciate the Speaker for putting this forward. But again, it doesn't stop them for acting right away, immediately, to put a piece of legislation on the floor to make sure that we do not default. We should not be. Congress, specifically Speaker McCarthy and the right wing, the MAGA extremists, should not be holding our economy, to put forth programs that's going to hurt American people. So again, we're going to analyze what they put forward to us, and we'll have more to share. I'm just saying that one thing that we know for sure is they need to make sure that we do not default. That is something Republicans in Congress need to act on now. They can do that right away. We're going to look at the impacts of this blueprint that they put forward. Go ahead, Nancy.
So just to follow up on that, it sounds like you're saying that there's a possibility that the president won't sit down with the House Speaker.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we're looking closely at the proposal that they put forward. We're going to analyze the impact of the 22% spending cuts that they put forward. But what we are saying at the same time, look, don't have a meeting to announce, but we've been very, very clear. We need to make sure that we avoid default. We're going to look at the impact.
But you're also no longer saying there will be a meeting at some point.
I'm just saying we don't have a meeting to announce at this time.
Hours later.